Well, the gold market's looking very interesting all of a sudden. Investors are looking forwards to peak interest rates. They're forecasting that US interest rates will start to come down probably next year, that's 2024. So whilst we're still going up, the gold market is anticipating a lower interest rate environment, as it anticipated a higher interest rate environment before. The US dollar is coming off, gold prices are going up. That's a better place to be. And the gold stocks, which have been pretty unloved for 5-6 years now, are actually beginning to run. So that's an interesting place to be. Interestingly enough, costs are still quite low in the gold sector, despite the fact that oil prices went up, despite the fact that there has been a certain amount of general inflation. These gold companies have kept their costs down. And that's good news, because as gold prices rise, their margins will go up, and companies like Resolute are actually quite well placed. Historically they had a higher cost, but actually Terry Houlihan, who runs it, is a very, very good operator. He's a good metallurgist, came out of Anglo Platinum years ago, and spent some years flying around the world with Robert Friedland. He really knows his stuff, and he's actually turned this thing around, and it's humming quite nicely.
We're a gold producer in West Africa. Our major asset is Syama in Mali and Mako in Senegal. Last year we hit our guidance for the first time in a while at, our guidance was 345,000 ounces. We beat that by 8,000 ounces. Essentially we fixed the revenue side of the equation at Syama. We fixed the underground mining and we fixed the processing. And now we're really excited going forward, because although we've only give guidance this next year for the same number, 350,000 ounces, we think we'll beat that. However, the following years there's plenty of upside, because now we've fixed the revenue side, which is, as I say, a lot of technical issues there, but we know what we need to do with engineering now to take that up significantly higher over the next 2 years.
We focus on returning or optimizing the returns for mining operations. We do that through our processing, through our unique plant and processes to recover gold and PGMs. That is from basically historical contaminated mining areas, as well as from byproducts, which is being produced by mines on a month-to-month basis. And I believe really there is a lot of opportunity and a lot of growth still in the markets we operate. We operate in Africa as well as in South America, specifically with plants in South Africa, focusing on Southern Africa, as well as plants in Ghana, focusing on West Africa, as well as covering production for South America. Since we've moved away from our mining strategy, mainly focusing on the recovery, I've explained now the last 3 years, we've been profitable from a quarter-to-quarter basis. We're currently sitting on between 2 to 4 million pounds of cash, and we're looking forward to see how we can utilize this to be able to assist the mining industry even further, and see how we can assist them not just from returning value, but also in terms of providing some environmental cleanup as well.
So Trident Royalty and Streaming, as the name suggests, metals and mining royalties. We are AIM listed with a market cap of about $190 million US today. What makes us quite different than a lot of our peers is that we take a diversified commodities approach to our investments. So where most of our peers are focused on gold or silver, we look at all metals excluding coal. So we have in our portfolio today lithium, copper, iron ore, for example, along with gold. What that means for us is that we operate in a relatively uncompetitive environment, and we're able to get assets like our royalty over Thacker Pass, which just last week announced the biggest investment by an auto manufacturer into the upstream sort of raw materials supply with a $650 million equity investment, which is obviously quite exciting for us. It really sort of highlights the fact that this is a tier 1 asset. And if it had been gold in Nevada, for example, we wouldn't have had a prayer of getting it. But because it's lithium, we're one of the only players looking at these kinds of assets. We're able to snag these opportunities and provide our investors with that exposure.
Orosul Mining Inc. is a gold exploration and development company currently focused in South America. It has 3 projects in South America, one in Colombia, gold, Argentina, which is gold and silver, and Brazil, which is a tin project. The flagship project is in Colombia. It's located in an area called Anza, to the west of Medellin, and is well communicated. The roads are of good quality, there's plenty of power available, and good access to water. Orosul acquired the property in 2014. It's a land holding of some 200 square kilometers. In 2018, Newmont joined, and thereafter in 2020, Agnico also joined the joint venture. Newmont and Agnico are 2 of the world's largest gold companies, and so I think this is testament to the potential and quality of the project. It's important to note that the project is fully funded by Newmont and Agnico. And indeed, those 2 companies recently decided to progress into phase 2 of the project, where they need to spend 20 million over the next 4 years. At the same time, paying Orosul a fee of 2 million, which has substantially strengthened our balance sheet.